What's good, everybody? D&B ENT. Your boy. Today we're about to do a video from Llama Arts. This video is titled True Craigslist Horror Stories Animated. Yeah, man. Keep it all the way 1,000. I like these animated horror stories. They're always good. They're always lit. Y'all love them. I like when y'all request them because I love them too, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. But you ready to hop into it? Let's go.
This story took place a long time ago, back in 2002, when Craigslist was in its early years. Many wouldn't know, but back in those days, Craigslist was a lot different. It was a lot more so an online garage sale, or just a place where people would list old things that still had some value that they were willing to give away. I got a basketball hoop, a hockey net, and a spoiler for my car, all three in perfect condition in that same year. You'd be lucky if you found something like that these days. Anyway, me and my son were dying to buy a hockey net so we could practice in the cul-de-sac we lived in. For the record, this was before I got that free one I mentioned. Wouldn't you know it, on Craigslist there was an ad for a slightly used regulation-size hockey goal for only $50. It came with a puck and 2 slightly used hockey sticks.
Okay.
I still have a picture of that ad to this day. It seemed like the perfect deal, but he lived about 2 hours away. I called the number he had listed, and he sounded pretty normal on the phone. He had a pretty deep, dark voice, but nothing that would be off-putting. I remember his voice being a bit emotionless. He agreed to meet halfway due to the distance. Said he'd put the stuff in the back of his pickup truck. He said he could only come after he got off from work, though, which was much later in the day, way past dark. We agreed to meet at some rest stop.
So like what time?
Me and my son, who was 11 at the time, took my wife's minivan, the only car that would be able to fit that huge thing. Within an hour, we were at the truck stop, which was empty at this hour, but was decently lit by 3 big light posts. I parked right under one of the lights and waited. A pickup truck pulled in off the highway right on time. He stopped right in front of me. I went over to his window, but then noticed there was nothing in the back of his truck. You, Steve? He asked me.
This the Craigslist killer.
I said. Alright, my buddy's bringing in the stuff for this truck. The guy pulled up behind my car and put it in park. I suddenly had a bad feeling.
Yeah, that's creepy. I was like, I'm good, bro.
The car and locked every door except mine. 2 more pairs of headlights came off the highway into the lots, surely enough, pulling up next to me. And, not surprisingly at this point, there was no hockey equipment in either one of them. My heart was racing. I was worried. Not for me, but for my young son who I, for some reason, brought with me on this trip. A group of large men mixed with heavy-set and muscular physiques stepped out of the 2 pickup trucks behind the first one. They eyed me from head to toe, giving that typical intimidation stare down. Then this bald guy wearing sunglasses said in a deep voice, "Where's the money?" I instantly pulled out my wallet and handed it to him, begging him to just let me and my son go. He pulled out like $100 and was pissed, expecting more. He then sent 2 of his goons or whatever to get my son. At this point, I screamed and begged for him not to take him. One of the men broke the glass to the minivan back door, and I vividly remember the disturbing, heartbreaking screams of my young son. What happened next was what I can only explain to be a miracle from God answering my prayers. A car was entering the lot from off the highway. All the men stopped and turned to look at it. As it got closer, my heart literally dropped in excitement as I saw it was a police car. The lights suddenly began to flash as he got close enough to see what was going on. All of the men were back in their trucks within seconds, speeding off down the highway. Well, at least 2 of them. The truck in the back was caught immediately by the police car, and backup arrived shortly. I explained everything to them, and they got the men that were caught to rat out on the others surprisingly quickly. I guess luckily the guys in the back truck weren't very loyal to whoever their leader was. if they even had any type of leader. Believe it or not, I had a police escort all the way home to make me and my son feel safer. I don't want to get into all the legal stuff, but I'll just say that all of those men except for one was caught, and I'm pretty sure that was the driver of the first pickup truck. Needless to say, my Craigslist days weren't over at that point, but I've always been much more protective of my son and much more cautious of Craigslist meetings since then.
Dang, and we had somebody who on Craigslist come to our house when we left
to get our TV.
To get our TV. It was in the daytime though. But anyway.
That was creepy.
And that was after a couple people tried to scam me. Remember they were trying to scam me?
They was trying to scam D like crazy. Send us the money and blah. It was like, bruh, we know this is a scam. Remember I told you to hit one up, like, we know this is a scam. Like, it ain't gonna work, bruh. I'm
selling something and they telling me, oh, I accidentally sent you too much money through PayPal, send me the rest. Like, bruh, I know this scam. You ain't send me nothing.
Right.
But anyway, no, the Craigslist killer, he would go meet up with, like, prostitutes.
Oh, he was only killing prostitutes?
Yeah, he was killing prostitutes. He was meeting up with girls. He would have sex with them and kill them. Anyway, this was definitely a creepy story. I don't understand why they wanted to rob him. They was only advertising something for $50. Why would they think he would bring hella money? Like, if you gonna do a scam, do it right.
Man.
Say, hey, this is $2,000.
Or something.
Cash.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying do it. That's horrible.
But I'm just saying, that's just stupid for them to be selling some $50
yeah,
and then
like,
be surprised he only got 100. I would have been surprised he had 100.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I thought he was only gonna have like 60, but all right.
Right. But anyway, this was a crazy story. Let us know what y'all thought about it. Make sure you
like and subscribe.
See you in the next one. Bye.